Good morning. It is beautiful that you are here in this quiet moment at the start of the day. Whatever happened yesterday, whatever is still unsettled inside you, right now you are standing before a completely new day. A day no one can walk for you, and no one can lose on your behalf. The morning feels like a doorway opening while the world is still asleep, and you are the first person to step into it. Before we talk about anything deeper, take a small moment to breathe with me. Inhale gently, as if you are creating a little more space for your heart. Hold it for 1 beat. Then exhale slowly, as if you are placing down everything you do not need to carry. Once more, breathe in a soft wave of peace. Hold it a little, and breathe out tenderly. You do not need to try. Just allow your body to return to its natural state. The morning speaks to us in a very quiet voice. Sometimes we hear it. Sometimes we miss it. There are mornings when you wake up with a clear mind, light like still water. And there are mornings when you wake up with a little worry, a little heaviness, a few things you do not know how to handle yet. And that is completely human. Not every day begins with strong energy. Sometimes having just enough calm to take one step is already enough. What matters is not how you wake up, but what you choose to do with this morning. Today, I want to offer you a gentle thought that can lift your mind throughout the day. You do not need to be perfect to begin. One kind thought at the start of the day is enough to guide the whole journey ahead. The morning is like a blank page, and the first thing you write on it affects more than you realize. If you write hurry, the page will carry that rush. If you write heaviness, it will follow you all day. But if you write a soft and gentle idea, it will bring a sense of peace into everything you do. So today, begin with a light thought for yourself, that you deserve a peaceful day, that you are allowed to start again, that you do not need to prove anything this morning. Simply being present and breathing the way you just breathed is already an act of caring for yourself. The morning does not ask you to be strong right away. It only invites you to be here, and you have already done that. There is something interesting about the morning that we often do not notice. The mind, when it has just awakened, is softer, more receptive, and more easily influenced than at any other time of the day. Whatever you pour into it during the first few minutes often sets the emotional direction for the whole day. But the truth is, most of us wake up and step straight into worry. Sometimes we open our eyes and immediately think of unfinished tasks, responsibilities waiting ahead, or pressures from yesterday that have not settled. That is not wrong. It simply makes your morning heavier than it needs to be. And sometimes, just because you begin the day in tension, the rest of the day follows that same rhythm. There is something about the mind we rarely talk about. The morning mind does not ask you to be strong. It only asks you to be awake. When you are awake enough to notice what you are carrying, you have the chance to put it down. When you are awake enough to see that you are reacting instead of choosing, you can shift direction. This is a simple but powerful law of the mind. The mind follows whatever you choose to repeat. If you repeat impatience, it will shape your life around that impatience. If you repeat self-blame, it will keep pulling you into cycles of exhaustion. But if this morning you choose to repeat gentleness toward yourself, even just once, the mind will begin to learn softness. When you give yourself one kind thought, you are laying the foundation for a kind day. Many people think changing the mind requires a big push or a major event, but lasting change often begins with the smallest things. One choice, one thought, one moment when you decide not to treat yourself harshly anymore. This morning, try noticing everything inside you without judgment. It is okay if you feel tense. It is okay if you feel calm. It is okay if you feel lazy. Often, We do not need to change what is inside us right away. We only need to see it with kindness. When you breathe slowly and look at yourself with understanding, your mind will soften without you forcing it. And from that softness, you have space to choose how to begin your day. In this moment, as you sit here, breathing gently and being present, I want to ask you something simple but true. This morning, what is taking up the most space in your heart? Worry, tiredness, hope, or maybe the feeling of not knowing how today will unfold? You can share just one word, so I know you are here with me. Thank you for being present, for giving time to yourself, and for letting me accompany you in this morning. You know, the morning is the only moment of the day when the mind still carries its natural softness. It has not yet been swept away by noise. It has not been overwhelmed by urgency, and it has not been pulled into the constant need to respond. This is the time when you can see yourself most clearly or lose yourself the fastest. The mind, when it first awakens, is like a calm surface of water. Just one light thought can create ripples. If that thought is worry, the mind will follow the rhythm of worry. If that thought is faith, the mind will move toward openness. The special thing is that the mind does not choose for you. It only amplifies what you repeat. That is why the morning becomes the golden moment to set a new pace, even when there are things in your life you cannot fix immediately. Many people believe peace only arrives when everything is already in order. But the morning teaches us the opposite. Peace often comes before life becomes orderly. It does not wait for silence to show up. It comes from a simple decision made in the first minutes of the day. A decision that you will not add weight to yourself with negative predictions. A decision that you will not force yourself to run faster than your mind can handle. A decision that you allow yourself to begin slowly, but begin with awareness. The morning is where you can practice returning to yourself without competing or proving anything. As adults, we are so used to living in roles, responsibilities, and other people's expectations that we forget what our inner world needs. The morning brings you back to where you started, a simple human being, a heart learning how to enter a new day, a mind waiting to be guided more gently. And here you begin to see something important. You do not need to control everything to have a good day. You only need to guide what is happening inside you. Often the outside world does not change right away, but the inside world changes first. When your mind softens, the way you see problems softens too. When you soften, your choices become clearer. And when your choices are clearer, you naturally walk in a better direction. Change does not always appear as results. It appears as a new way of thinking, a new breath, a small but right decision. So this morning does not require strength from you. It only asks for honesty. What is weighing on you the most right now? What are you trying to push away? What are you afraid to face? Look at these things without dislike. When you see your inner world clearly, you will find more space to begin the day with kindness. And that kindness becomes the foundation for the entire law of the mind you are about to walk into. Now that your mind has softened, this is the right moment to place a beautiful thought into your morning. This thought is not meant to make you try harder or force yourself to be positive. It is simply a small seed, gentle enough for the morning mind to receive, and steady enough to guide you through the day. That thought is this: today you do not need to be perfect. You only need to be clear about what you want to nurture within yourself. Many people begin the morning with a list of tasks they must complete. That can be helpful, but sometimes it makes the day start under pressure. Instead, you can begin the day by asking yourself something simple. What tone do I want my mind to carry today? Peace, clarity, patience, lightness. Choose just one tone. and your mind will gradually move in that direction, because the mind does not follow grand intentions. It follows what you repeat in silence. If you begin with chaos, the day will naturally circle back to chaos. If you begin with calm, the way you face surprises will also become calm. A beautiful thought in the morning is like choosing the color of your whole day. It does not guarantee that life will run smoothly, but it ensures that you will walk through everything with a clearer inner state, and that state determines the quality of your inner life. You cannot control other people. You cannot predict what will happen at work. You cannot know what life will bring to you today, but you always have the right to choose your own tone. That right belongs only to you. Morning is the moment when this right is the clearest, not disturbed by other opinions, not swept away by urgency, not influenced by any story, except your own. A beautiful thought can be as simple as this: today, I want to feel light, or today, I want to be more patient than yesterday, or I will treat myself with kindness before I offer kindness to anyone else. These thoughts do not create pressure, they guide you. And when your mind is oriented towards something wholesome, you naturally move in the right rhythm for yourself. Many people ask why the morning matters so much. The answer is simple: because it is the time when you can change most easily without effort. You only need to reset your intention. When your intention is clear, the mind adjusts itself. When the mind adjusts, your whole day becomes more orderly. Before we move on to the next part, I want to invite you to plant a small seed for yourself. What tone do you want your day to carry? Comment below with just one word you choose. One word is enough to begin. And thank you for truly being here and connecting with me this morning. There is a simple law of the mind that quietly shapes the emotional quality of your entire day. It is so simple that many people overlook it, yet so profound that anyone who understands and practices it will feel life becoming noticeably lighter. That law is this: your mind will move in the direction of whatever you give your first attention to. In the morning, when the mind is still soft and open, the first thing you choose to look at becomes the path for the whole day. If you look at what you have not finished, your mind will move in the rhythm of lacking. If you look at what you fear you will not manage in time, your mind will follow the rhythm of urgency. But if you look at a wholesome thought, something you know you are building, or simply a peaceful state you want to nurture, your mind will naturally follow that direction. What is wonderful about this law is that it does not ask you to be positive in a forced way. It does not require you to smile when you are not ready. It only invites you to place your attention where it truly belongs. Because wherever your attention goes, that thing grows. If your attention settles on chaos, chaos expands. If your attention rests on what you can do now, clarity rises. If your attention leans toward what you want to feel, that emotion has room to take root. The mind does not choose the direction, it follows the trace you leave. And the first trace of the day is always the strongest. This morning you can already see this law working within you. Just a few minutes ago, when you breathed gently and released some tension, you created a new direction for your mind without effort. One small shift in attention can create a big shift in emotion. And this is not theory. It is a direct experience you can feel the moment you allow your mind to pause and listen inward. As adults, many of us are used to living in reaction rather than choice. We react to work, react to others, react to surprises. But morning is the one moment when you can shift from reacting to choosing, simply by deciding what you will give your first attention to. The beautiful part is that this decision does not need to be perfect. It only needs to be clear. You can begin with a small thought. Today I want to be a little calmer than yesterday. Or today, I will keep my inner voice softer by not blaming myself so much. Or today, I will pause for one slow breath whenever my mind wants to run ahead. These small things are how you set the direction for your day. The mind will follow, the emotions will follow, and your actions will follow too. You do not need to control everything. You only need to choose the first thing you offer your attention to. The law of the mind always begins this way. Very gentle, very simple, very possible. And it is this simplicity that makes it a powerful tool for anyone who wants to live with more clarity in a new day. Now that you have a beautiful thought and have understood the morning law of the mind, this is the moment to bring everything into your real life through one very small action. An action light enough to create no pressure, yet real enough to help you step into your day with full presence. It is not a big task or a complicated habit. It is simply a tiny movement that brings your mind back into a clear and peaceful state. Today I want you to try this. When you stand in front of a mirror, or at any moment that feels right, smile at yourself for 1 second. Just 1 second. A very gentle smile, not forced, not overly positive, not exaggerated. Just a moment where you look at yourself the way you would look at a friend you care for. That 1 second may seem small, but it carries a powerful effect. It sends your mind a signal that you are here with yourself, not rushing into the day on autopilot. It reminds you that you have the right to soften your life right where it begins, inside you. It tells you that you deserve kindness. Many adults grow up being good to everyone else, while being strict with themselves. This 1 second helps you shift that pattern. It does not heal every wound. It simply reminds you that you are a human being with value, doing your best with what you have. When you smile at yourself, even for a brief moment, you are telling your mind that today is not your enemy. Today is a place where you are allowed to start again, to go gently, to grow. The mind responds strongly to small conscious movements. 1 second of smiling can shift your heartbeat, your breath, and the way you face unexpected moments in the day. It is like placing a hand on your own shoulder and saying, I am here with you even in hard times. You do not need to be joyful to smile. You only need to be present. You do not need to be strong to begin. You only need to give yourself that 1 second. And now I want to ask you something soft. When you try this 1 second action, what is the first feeling that rises inside you? A bit of shyness, a sense of ease, or simply a gentle softness in your mind? Tell me in one word, so I know you are truly here with me. Thank you for giving your time to this small action, for listening to yourself, and for letting me walk with you in this meaningful morning. Now that your mind has settled and your heart has softened, I want to offer you a gentle morning prayer. Not a prayer for miracles, but a prayer that brings you back to yourself and helps you feel the peace already living inside you. Breathe slowly and let these words move through you like clear water. This morning I choose to begin my day with awareness and gratitude. May I see clearly what I can do, and may I have enough peace to accept what I cannot change right now. In the moments when my mind is easily pulled by worry, may I have the clarity to pause and return to my own breath. May I remember that I do not have to chase every pressure. I only need to take slow steps and be present in each one. May my heart soften with every change, so I do not treat myself with harshness. May I have enough kindness to soothe the tired corners within me. And may I remember that I do not need to be perfect to be at peace. I only need to be honest with my own feelings. In the quiet spaces where I do not know what today will bring, may I have the courage to open my heart and welcome everything with calm. If something frightens me, may I be steady enough not to let fear lead. May my mind stay clear, not running back to the past or rushing too far into the future. May I see each situation in its true color, not exaggerated, not minimized, just as it is. May I have enough inner aliveness to hold a beautiful thought throughout the day. May I never forget that each morning is a new chance to rewrite how I live, how I feel, and how I show up in life. This morning I place my mind in clarity, light, and peace, and I release every outcome to unfold naturally, without forcing or grasping. I know that when I am steady inside, I will see life with wider eyes. May I become someone who brings gentleness to those I meet today. May my words not accidentally hurt anyone. May my presence become a small place of comfort for others. And may I also remember that I deserve the same softness I offer. Finally, may I have a day that feels whole in a very human way. Clear in some moments, uncertain in others, but always present. Strong at times, tender at times, but always moving forward. May my mind rest in peace, so that every step I take today is guided by clarity, awareness, and gratitude. This morning I begin with an open heart and a quiet mind. Now that you have moved through gentle breathing, a beautiful thought, the morning law of the mind, and a soft prayer, I want to offer you a tender blessing to close this morning. Not a blessing that pushes you toward achievement, but one that simply reminds you that you are stepping into a new day with a quiet support rising from within. This morning, I wish for you enough lightness so small things do not become burdens. I wish for you enough clarity to know what deserves your attention and what is only passing noise. I wish for you enough peace so you do not wrestle with yourself. I wish for you enough compassion to treat others kindly without forgetting to be kind to yourself. And I wish for you enough awareness to move through the day at a pace that fits you, not too fast, not too slow, just aligned with your own breath. What matters is not what will happen today, but the state of heart and mind with which you meet it. A clear mind will help you see. A soft heart will help you stand steady. A wholesome intention will help you stay the course. You do not need to control the whole day. You only need to hold a steady ground within. Whenever your mind wants to rush, return to one breath. Whenever emotions try to pull you back into old patterns, return to the intention you chose this morning. Whenever the day feels like too much, remind yourself that you do not need to finish everything at once. The peace you chose in the morning is still there. You only need to come back to it. One of the most beautiful things about morning is that it never asks you to be perfect. It only asks you to be present. And you have been present through this whole journey. You have given time to yourself. You have opened your heart to adjust your mind. And that alone is something you can quietly be proud of. To let me know you are still here, stepping into the day with the clarity and peace you planted from the start. You can leave a simple comment. You can say, I am ready to change. Or simply leave the number 1 as a sign that you are entering this new day with the light and calm you have chosen. Thank you for being here, for walking with me until this moment, and for allowing me to accompany you in this morning. I wish you a gentle day. A day bright enough for you to see your direction, peaceful enough for you not to be pulled into what does not belong to you, and loving enough for you to move through the day with an open heart. This morning belongs to you. Carry the softness you have planted and let it guide you through each step of today. When you have reached this part of the morning, it means you have truly given time to yourself. You have breathed gently, observed your inner world, planted a beautiful thought, set a new law for your mind, and opened your heart through a morning prayer. Just the fact that you patiently stayed until here shows that you are sincere about your journey toward a lighter and clearer life. This is not something everyone does. Many people wake up and rush straight into the noise of the day, but you chose to slow down and look within. That is a gift you have given yourself, and I honor that. Now, before we step into the final piece of this morning journey, I want to offer you a soft invitation. No pressure, no expectation, no purpose, other than wanting to walk with you in a gentle and sustainable way. If you felt peace while listening to these words, if you sensed even a small lift inside you, if you noticed your mind becoming clearer with each part, then I would love to continue walking with you in the mornings ahead. Each morning is a chance to return to a clearer version of yourself. And if you want to turn these moments into a small ritual, a quiet habit that nourishes your mind, let me stay beside you. You can follow, so you will not miss the next morning reflections. These messages are written for you, for the adult, carrying many responsibilities, but still wanting to keep a calm and wholesome space within. I am not inviting you to follow for noise or for promises of quick change. I invite you only if you truly feel that this place gives you the peace you are looking for. Morning content is like a small stream of water flowing each day. You do not feel a sudden change, but over time, your mind becomes softer, less reactive, and more intentional. And if this journey feels right for you, I will be happy to continue offering you mornings filled with light. But if today is your first time here, and you simply want to stop at this point, that is completely fine. I do not want peace to become a burden. I just want you to know you are always welcome to return whenever you need. This morning, if you want to keep receiving daily messages that nourish your mind, you can choose to follow. One small action, but it can create a gentle space for a long journey ahead. The morning is where you begin, and I would be grateful to meet you again in the mornings to come. Before you stand up and step into the new day, I want to pause with you for a moment and look at the whole journey you have walked through this morning. You may not notice it, but every part you listened to was designed to bring your mind back to its true place, the quiet center of peace within you. You began with a gentle breath, a soft morning greeting, a moment of presence that not everyone gives to themselves. Then you looked at what was inside you, not avoiding, not denying, just observing with kindness. You planted a beautiful thought, small enough not to create pressure, but strong enough to guide your day. You understood a simple law of the mind, that the direction of your first attention becomes the direction of the whole day. You took a small action, 1 second of smiling at yourself, reminding your mind that you deserve tenderness. You opened your heart in a morning prayer, not to seek miracles, but to return to clarity and peace within. And finally, you allowed your heart to soften with the blessing and the gentle invitation to continue this journey in the mornings ahead. This whole journey was not a lecture or a lesson. It was a return to your breath, a return to your true feelings, a return to the clarity that a busy life often pulls you away from. Many people think that to have a good day, they must do many things. But the truth is the opposite. A day becomes better when your inner world becomes clearer, when you begin to shine, when you begin to soften. This morning, you have done that, without forcing, without pushing, simply by being present. You have given yourself a gift we often forget to give, the gift of listening, the gift of caring, the gift of kindness. And now, as you are about to step into the outer world, I want you to hold one final reminder. You do not need to hold the entire day in your hands. You only need to hold your mind in each moment. When you feel yourself rushing, return to your breath. When emotions pull you away, remember the beautiful thought you planted this morning. When life brings something unexpected, remember the law of the mind, that the direction of your attention shapes the direction you walk. And when you feel a little distant from yourself, repeat that small action, 1 second of smiling. It will not change the world, but it will change the way you walk in it. Carry this truth with you today. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be present in each step, present with a soft heart, present with a clear mind, and this presence will make today meaningful in a way no achievement can. I wish you step into the new day with the peace you have nurtured this morning. Walk gently, breathe steadily, and remember that you always have the right to begin again with a single breath.